Guatemala's President Jimmy Morales, speaking at the APEC summit in Washington, says his country will join America in moving its embassy to Jerusalem. Guatemala was one of only a handful of countries to follow President Trump's lead in December, when he announced a reversal of decades of policy to quit Tel Aviv for the contested city, which both Jews and Palestinian Arabs claim as their capital. Now Morales is making good on that promise. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked Morales in person following the announcement, ahead of meetings on Monday with President Trump. Following the December bombshell, 128 countries defied Trump by backing a non-binding UN General Assembly resolution calling for the United States to drop its recognition of Jerusalem.
The Italian left is in shock. A right-wing alliance has emerged with the biggest bloc of votes ahead of the anti-establishment Five Star movement. The ruling centre-left coalition is in third, hurt by anger over poverty and mass immigration. He says it's clear for us that this is a very clear defeat. It's clearly a result below expectation. Throughout the night, Democratic Party leader Matteo Renzi stayed alone with his party faithful. None of the outgoing ministers showed up at the headquarters of the Democratic Party at any point during the night. Our correspondent says the long night of the Democratic Party has so many open questions. What will Renzi decide to do? Will he resign or not? Will he be leading a small parliamentary group or not? All these questions will be answered in the next few hours.
The collapse of an apartment building in the western Polish city of Poznan has killed 4 people and injured at least 20 more. The building crumbled after an explosion likely to have been caused by gas, according to local media.
Thousands of residents have fled eastern Ghouta in Syria, according to the rescue group the White Helmets. The rebel-held district has been bombarded by forces loyal to the Syrian president, and aid has been blocked from getting in. The UN said this collective punishment of civilians is simply unacceptable. Satellite images showed 2 pictures of eastern Ghouta taken 1 week apart following days of military strikes. The White Helmets say over 650 people, including around 150 children, are now believed to have been killed in the area just to the east of the capital Damascus in the past 2 weeks alone. The UN Security Council ordered a ceasefire that had little impact on the number of casualties. The Syrian Observatory says President Assad's forces now control 1/4 of the area.
Germany's centre-left Social Democrats have given their seal of approval to enter a grand coalition with Chancellor Angela Merkel's Conservatives. 2/3 of the party voted yes. This means a new government will be formed after 5 months of uncertainty in Europe's largest economy. Social Democrats did not make this decision lightly. It spent the last weeks in in-depth and transparent and open discussions over the coalition deal. They were important and gripping debates that a great many members of the SPD took part in. The party's youth division said it would be scrutinising the new government every step of the way. We will be watching the government closely, both sides, and will be aiming to make sure that all the non-binding declarations of intent become concrete policies. We will demand that political debate and argument finally returns to this party and to society. The vote means Chancellor Angela Merkel is set to form her 4th government. In a tweet, she congratulated the SPD for the clear result. This woman said, "I think now we will have a rerun of the coalition. They will form a government, but I don't think that much will change. What might be noticeable at the next election is that the extreme parties may get more votes." Germany's President, Franz-Walter Steinmeier, said the result was good for the country. For the first time since the Vietnam War, a US Navy aircraft is paying a visit to a Vietnamese port. The USS Carl Vincent's arrival dramatically underscores the growing strategic ties between the former foes at a time when China's regional influence is rising.
in terms of security, both countries certainly share substantial common interest in the containment of China in view of the territorial dispute between China and Vietnam. However, it seems that Vietnam does not intend to become an ally of the United States. It is basically a kind of hedging strategy, a kind of balance of power strategy.
The ship's mission, a friendship visit that includes technical exchanges, sports matches and other community activities, says the Vietnamese Foreign Ministry.
The Vatican's treasurer, Cardinal George Pell, has arrived in court in Australia for the start of a 4-week pre-trial hearing on charges of historical sexual offences. His lawyers have said in the past he would plead not guilty to all charges, the details of which have not been made public.
Televidentes que nos siguen a final de Notisia Internacional. Después de corte publicitario, nos tabeco e deporte com o colega Carl Reuter.